Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Frank Talks, Franklin Tomorrow's Frank Talks. I'm Mindy Tate, Executive Director for Franklin Tomorrow, and we are so glad you're joining us this morning for Frank Talks. This is our last Frank Talks of the year, but we've had so much fun, and we appreciate the sponsorships that we have for that. Alina Bell, our board chair, is joining us this morning. Hi, Alina.
Morning. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas. I've got on my funny The Child sweater, Mandalorian, and I'm a big Disney fan. My tree behind me. You've got sparkles. You're a sparkler, right? Are you a sparkler?
I brought the Christmas tree to the jacket, so all the sparkles are on me.
Well, so this has been your second year as our board chair, and you're wrapping that up. And so I want to mention that to everybody just as a way of also saying thank you so much for being part of the Franklin Tomorrow leadership. We really, really have appreciated your leadership over the last 2 years.
It's been an honor, Mindy. We have such an incredible board that we're just in sync with wanting the community to have as much participation as we can, coming from all different tentacles throughout the community. And it's just a blessing to see us all come together at board meetings, and the synergy is great, but also the things that we're able to get done is incredible. I know you feel supported, and Carly feels supported as well.
Yeah, it's been a difficult year, but we've maintained with Frank Talks and Breakfast with the Mayors, and we've seen great growth in that. And we are excited about 2021 and something that may seem more like it was before, more normal, but maybe improved in a way as well, as we've really explored social media and how to use that and how to expand our audience.
And I think that's the part that I'm so excited about. We've had so many people that have participated, regardless of not being able to come, and the social media platform has just exploded for us.
Yeah.
And we thank the people in the community that want to just share our information. They see us as a trusted resource. We're just extremely grateful.
We are. And we couldn't do these programs without great partners. And we've got 2 great partners for Frank Talks, Williamson Medical Center, who can't be with us this morning, but also our friends at Renaissance Bank. And we've got Diane LeBlanc and Tammy. Oh, no, we've got Tony Sharp in there now. Hey, Tony. Hi, Diane. How are y'all this morning? Merry Christmas.
Hey, good morning. Merry Christmas.
So you all have settled into your new digs on Columbia Avenue this year.
We have celebrated our 1 year. Cayman left, gone quickly. August. So we are definitely settled in here. We are so happy and feel honored, and it's been an amazing year for us here at 815 Columbia Avenue. We felt the love from the neighborhood and the community in 1 year's time that we've been celebrating and talking with the neighbors, and it's just been a really great experience for us. We appreciate everyone making us feel part of the family here in downtown Franklin.
So Renaissance is it's a bank that's a Southern bank, has a real flair for that, and you all have a connection banks in how many states in the South?
Five states. Yeah, we have. Our footprint is over 5 states: Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and of course our hometown Mississippi, Tupelo.
So almost over 200.
Yeah, close to 200. Yeah.
That's great. And so that gives you kind of I don't want to call you the SEC bank, but hey, you gotta love it.
Well covered.
Yeah. Gotta love it. And you've got, in the spirit of the season, you've got a fun holiday video for us. Now, it's not something that you can go out and can order on Amazon though, right?
Well, it is on our website. And if you haven't visited renaissancebank.com, please do so. We do like to add a little flair, and our marketing folks do an amazing job with a Nashville firm that creates, you might see, if you are an SEC fan, you might have seen some of the videos that we've done, the SEC shorts. That is part of a marketing team here in Nashville, and we've tried to exclusively show that on, you might have seen it on Saturday mornings if you're watching some of the games, and it's tries to poke a little fun on some of the teams that aren't doing as well and some of the challenges that we've had this year. So if you need something to give you a good laugh, please go out there and visit renaissancebank.com. Top right, you'll see some marketing, and you'll go to Renaissance Nation, or SEC Shorts. I think today we're going to play just a little fun one. It's part of those series of Renaissance Nation, and love to share that fun humor with you. I think Carly's going to show that for us, and I'll let you see that. Hopefully.
Do harsh big city sounds keep you awake? Do you have a hard time turning your brain off at night? Do regular white noise machines just not do the trick? What if we told you there's a device scientifically proven to help you sleep like a baby in Mima's arms? Introducing Southern Sleep Assist. Sleep like you're down home with a shuffle of Southern sounds, including Southern Spring Shower, Cicada Season, Distant Train, and Critters in the Trash Can. Talladega, and New Orleans. Southern Sleep Assist also features innovations like the "But Grandpa, we've already heard that story" series.
So I looked him straight in the eye and I told him, "Rudy, put your hands on the table." Wait, was that Gerald? It was Gerald. I think that was Gerald.
And for those with severe insomnia, our certified sleep scientists have developed an all-natural sleep aid supplement, which, when combined with the soothing sounds of Southern Sleep Assist, will have you snoozing harder than Tennessee's offense. Southern Sleep Assist, available wherever they don't serve grits.
Renaissance Bank, the best bank in the South. Visit renaissancebank.com to learn more.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. That's what we needed.
Thanks so much. And you guys, please come see us. We're at 815 Columbia Avenue. We will be here through Christmas, of course, with our doors open. We'll close at noon on Christmas Eve, but we'd love to see you here on site. And we'll provide a mask if you don't have one.
Thanks so much, Diane. Thanks so much, Tony. Merry Christmas. Well, now calling in, we've got Mayor Ken Moore. I think he's on the call with us this morning, and talk to him a little bit about what a year this has been, and see how he's faring, and if he's got any Christmas spirit. Mayor, are you here with us today?
Here, and I have got the Christmas spirit, no question. I've got on my elf hat today. I'm here to help Santa. You know, we're big on volunteering in Franklin, and I'm here to volunteer to help Santa. So I hope he'll take me in, but I'm kind of questioning whether he might not like my work. And I know he's big in my hands.
You've had a lot to do this year. Have you done everything you needed to do, Santa, to make Santa happy?
Well, I've been a good boy, I think. My wife tells me I've been good. So I'm hoping maybe Santa will recognize me. That's
great. It's been a challenging year, and the year has ended with some tough times. with the death of Alderman Pearl Bransford and the passing of former Mayor Tom Miller, this has been kind of a tough end to a tough year.
Those were big losses for Franklin because both of them have made so many contributions to our city. You know, Pearl, we've talked about all the things that she was involved in, and we're excited that now there's going to be a scholarship at Columbia State to recognize her legacy. And Tom Miller, I mean, there's so many things that Tom did that people may not be familiar with. So I urge people to look into things such as sister cities, such as Harlansdale, the park at Harlansdale Farm, just on and on and on. Tom was very involved. He served many years as an alderman, planning commission, and then mayor for 4 years. So our hearts go out to the Miller family for the loss, and also the Pearl's family.
And you go ahead.
Well, I'm going to try to be a little more positive because, you know, one of the most valuable things that we have in our city is a wonderful city team. And this city team has come together in such a great fashion to, number one, help a citizens Christmas parade, which had some controversy around it, but we had over 1,500 cars parked for that parade. Jamie may want to talk about the Christmas Santa that's been to many neighborhoods. I lost count after 50. And of course, we had 2,000 cars drive by the eastern flank for some celebration. And we, of course, had our virtual tree celebration. And tomorrow we're going to have our drive-by Christmas breakfast. You know, that's been a big tradition, is to have a breakfast for all the employees. And because of COVID, we're doing it a little bit different. You know, I'm really glad to announce that we're trying to take care of our employees. First of the year, they're going to get a raise. They had a nice Christmas bonus this year. And so I truly value our employees of the city of Franklin and how they've stepped up during this challenging time to continue to provide all those services that we have. But there are other things I'm thankful for, and you know, I'm thankful for that partnership we have with Franklin tomorrow and how we were recognized as an all-American city. We already knew it; nobody else maybe knew it. And then we've received 2 top 10s this year as far as best cities in America, and also a place to retire. You know, it's just a tradition that continues, that we are a community that cares about the people in our community, and just trying to make it a great place to live, work, and raise a family. And then we're working now on new monitors for the transit system. I think that's exciting because we're all talking about traffic, but also recognizing, you know, that this is a difficult season. We create a lot of expectations for ourselves and our families as far as happiness, but it's a challenging time. And we know that there are people out there that don't have the resources. You know, the saddest thing is kids that don't get toys, or families that don't have food. And so this year we've had Find Hope Franklin, which is an organization that's helping promote good mental health practices and suicide prevention. But there's a lot of excitement on the horizon. We now have a vaccine. I understand that Tennessee is going to get over 50,000 doses in the initial ship from Pfizer, and that we're thinking that Moderna will have their approval by toward the end of this week, and they'll be sending over 115,000 doses. And of course, the state has a plan for administering those vaccines, and our frontline healthcare workers and folks in our long-term care facilities are on the first phase, and this is still in a kind of a fluid mode. So we'll try to keep you posted as we move forward. As far as the vaccine, I feel very comfortable saying that I plan on getting the vaccine when it's my turn, and I hope everybody else will. And I continue to urge folks to perform those best practices as far as keeping yourself safe and those around you safe with mask wearing, hand washing, physical distancing, and avoiding those crowds. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and golly, I love Frank Talks. They're so informative and so much fun, and Diane and Tony have really started the day off great for me. I love it. I got to get one of those, and I hope that if I make an extra deposit that they might be able to supply me with one of those. Maybe that's a free giveaway at the back.
Well, maybe.
You got it, Mayor.
Oh, good. Well, if, Santa could maybe bring those too. If we check in with Santa and see if he has you on the right list. I don't know which list you're on, but I think Santa's calling in. We have Santa.
Well, tell Santa that if I'm not on that list, his water might be cut off.
Yeah, his water will be cut off. So, Santa, I can't. Ho, Santa.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. I can't see you yet.
Can you see me? Well, wait a minute. Albert's off today. He's my IT guy. He said just push the buttons and everything would be okay. But you can't see me, huh?
I can't see you, Santa.
That's not good. Well,
we can hear you.
Push more buttons. Push more buttons. That's what they keep telling me. Well, I don't know. Well, is this not? I was actually calling for the Holiday Inn in Miami Beach. Is this not it?
No, you're still trying to book that after Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. Claus and I are headed to the beach. I'll be down there in my Speedo and everything, and woohoo, we'll be having a good time.
Santa, yeah, we don't want to see that. Maybe that's why the camera doesn't work.
Well, I'm all dressed up today. I got on my fancy Santa Claus hat and my official vest. Got my white gloves on because I'm social distancing, and you can't see me, huh?
Does that beard? How does the mask work with your beard?
Oh, I hate the mask. But I wear it. It's better when I don't have the mask because it ruffles up my beard.
Well, Santa, we promise down here in Franklin, because you're in the North Pole, we promise we've been good all year long.
I've heard that you have. Now, tell me something, Mayor. Can you answer some questions for me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've got several questions because I've been thinking about doing some relocating of some of my stuff. You got any room down there for some extra businesses?
Yes, sir. We work with small businesses, large businesses, and I would guess that with what you do every year, that you're a large business. So you would join some other big corporate headquarters like Mars Pet Care North America, and Nissan North America, Mitsubishi North America. So you would end up being the lead dog here.
Well, we're looking at moving one of our toy factories. We're looking at one of our cookie warehouses, maybe even a reindeer farm, and even a candy cane factory. Now, have you got plenty of elves down there to work for me?
Well, right here. Yeah, I mean, look here.
Now, you're looking good.
I'm ready. This bell drives me a little crazy, but other than that, I guess I could tolerate it.
I understand that. Now, excuse me, getting all choked up here. It's cold up here at the North Pole. The wind's blowing and the snows are falling all the time. It must be 20 foot deep. I don't know. Well, is it nice and warm there?
Oh, it's just so warm here compared to where you're at.
And you got construction going on?
Construction's everywhere. We're seeing a lot of development activity in Franklin. So I think that we'll be able to provide plenty of housing for you and your elves.
Well, good. That's what we need. Now, are you going to have a 34% tax increase? I heard that. Is that happening?
No, sir, not in Franklin, Tennessee or Williamson County. That's that small suburb to the north, or rather large suburb to the north called Nashville Metro that had a 34% increase.
Oh, well, we're not going to go that far, that's for sure. Can't handle that. Well, tell me this. Have you been good this year?
I have been so good, Santa. I've attended all the Frank Talks. I've been to all the breakfasts with the mayors, and I haven't said a dirty word in any of those. events.
Well, you've done pretty good, sounds to me like. Well, now tell me, can you give me one line, one really good line to leave everybody on of what about this next year? Give me something good.
21 will be better than 20.
That was short but sweet. Well, I'm going to have to go feed the reindeer, so I'm going to have to cut it short. And I'm sorry you couldn't see me in my glory, but it's the way it is at the North Pole. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. And let me give you one last line. 2021 is going to be a great year. I want everybody to love each other, help everybody out, because we all need it. And the bottom line is, be good, stay on the nice list. I'll see you soon. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas. Thanks, Santa. Thanks, Santa. Well, that was great. Thanks, Mayor, for being a good sport with that. And next up, we've got Studio 10. Patrick Cassidy and Patrick Thomas are going to help us spread a little holiday cheer. They've got a great video for us. So thanks, Mayor. Have a great day.
Hey, thanks, Mindy. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, I'm Patrick Cassidy, Artistic Director for Studio 10 Theater Company. And on December 17th, we are hosting a Tennessee Christmas fundraiser hosted by our very own Mr. Patrick Thomas. These are artists all throughout Middle Tennessee performing. Plus, we have an incredible silent auction where you can bid on trips, tickets on Southwest, gifts of bourbon, Christmas gifts special for you. So remember, December 17th, at 7 o'clock, we are live streaming a Tennessee Christmas hosted by our very own Mr. Patrick Thomas.
Hi, everybody. It's Patrick Thomas here. I just wanted to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I'm going to play you a song that feels very appropriate right now, considering that it's about 70 degrees outside in late November here in Tennessee. Anyway, much love to you all and all your families. Once again, have a very Merry Christmas. This is Tender Tennessee Christmas. Come on, weatherman, give us a forecast, snowy white. Can't you hear the prayers of every childlike heart tonight? Rockies are calling, there's snow falling. Somebody said it's 4 feet deep. It doesn't matter, give me the laughter. I'm gonna choose to keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where love circles around us like the gifts beneath our tree, where I know there's no snow up in Colorado that my roof will ever see. The tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Every now and then I get what it hurts to see. Maybe California, maybe tens of towns for me. There's a parade there we'd haven't made there. Bring on the 10 for New Year's Eve. It sure sounds exciting and awfully inviting. Still, I think I'm gonna keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts beneath our tree, where the say it's a warm holiday, it's the only place to be. The tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Well, I know there's more snow up in Colorado than my roof will ever see.
that really helped me get in a little more Christmas spirit and not think about some of the things that have been weighing on us in our community. We're going to be joined now by Pike Williams from the Refuge Center. And Pike is going to talk with us a little bit about how to handle the holiday stress or the holiday, just stress in general. Pike, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. And I love the video from Diane, and I wish I had somehow integrated that into what I'm going to share, because I think it trumps a lot of what I'm going to say, but I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, and we'll turn it over to you, Pike. Thanks for being here. So this is a stressful time, even without a pandemic. It's a stressful time for a lot of people, and dealing with that can be difficult, family, other things. So tell us a little bit, give us some insight into that.
Yes, I'll be glad to share some thoughts here, and I'm going to share my screen and cover just a couple of slides here, if I may. So I'll be talking here as I try to get this going. But you're so right that Christmas, is wonderful as it is also stressful. And under the best of years, we might say that our wagon is full. You know, we might say, in other words, without a COVID or without some of the things going on in our world these days, we might say, man, my wagon is full and here comes Christmas. But interestingly, you know, with COVID, there have been some things that we can't do now. There are some gatherings that we don't participate in, we don't want to participate in, or there have been some activities that have been canceled. My wife and I missed out on a wedding last weekend because it just didn't make sense for us to go. And so as we think about our personal wagons, they actually may feel a little less full than previous years. But today I want you just to consider your emotional wagon. So, you know, given 2020, and I love the fact that a couple of you have already mentioned some very emotional things. And I'm kind of late to the emotions party personally, this meaning counseling is a second career for me, but I'm so glad to now finally have a better understanding of these things called emotions, because they're so important. But as we go into the Christmas season, to consider your emotional wagon, is it full? And so should you say yes or no? And before you just check your calendar only, please consider the rest of you, which includes your emotions. So just a word or two about emotions. Just real briefly, the idea of the word emotion means to move us. That's exactly what it means. And it's actually an early defense system to protect us. Our emotions highlight for us that something is threatening us, either physically. I was hiking not too long ago, came upon a snake. So fear was right there, of course, and I was about 20 yards down the trail before I even realized what had happened. But it highlights, they highlight for us things that are either a physical threat or an emotional threat, so that we can care for them, not just to cause us to feel uncomfortable, but so that we can take some healthy action. So that they're to move us. They are very, very fast. In fact, researchers will tell us that we actually feel things before we can actually see them and make sense visually of what's happening. So they're lightning quick by design to help us stay alive in many situations. Consider lights on the dashboard of your car. None of us like to see those red lights come on, of course, but we've got to admit we're glad they're there if it saves us a motor rebuild or prevents an unsafe condition from existing. I do want to, on the hopeful side of things, please know that emotions are indicators, they're not dictators. We don't have to be a slave to our emotions. We don't have to act out of our emotions, but to help us move from the indicator to actually taking some healthy action, one of the things that will help a lot is self-care. And so I'm just going to talk a minute about self-care. Now, the idea of self-care is not a new idea, I don't think, for anyone who's visiting with us today, but it really just this idea of taking care of our mental and emotional health in order to maximize our ability to live and thrive, okay? And to be at peace in difficult situations and even tragic circumstances, which honestly, many of us have been through. Mayor Moore just talked about a couple. And I just want to say here, and I love this, Mindy, you're creating a place, let's have some fun. And at the same time, we can also have a little sadness. And it's okay for all these things to be here together because that's how our lives really are. And so just glad to hear you guys say that and kind of highlight that. But, you know, 2020 has been a hard year. And so let's just say that out loud. It's okay to say it. And we have experienced our emotions. And it's time to make sure we care for ourselves as we go into the holidays. Let me stress, we're not talking about selfish care. Self-care actually enables us to be the person we want to be for the people that we love the most. And so just think of this as an enabler to really you being all that you want to be. I want to close with giving you this tool. It's called a self-care wheel. And you can use this to kind of make a plan for your holidays, for Christmas. Stephen Covey years ago said, it's very wise to start with the end in mind. So we could think about, if we had the time, we could all share about what's the story you want to tell yourself or you want to be able to tell others about Christmas 2020. What was it like? What did you do? Did you do the things you hoped to do? Well, of course, the best way to do that, many experts would tell us, is have a plan. So in that spirit, I offer this. But self-care involves these 4 quadrants of the wheel. And of course, for any wheel to roll well, it needs to be balanced. So think of your plan. Think of what are some things physically that you can do, would want to do during the Christmas and New Year's time, the holiday season, and do them. We live in a beautiful place on a good day like yesterday to get out, take a hike, take a walk. That's great. There's certainly many other things you can do to exercise. Deep breathing is something I just want to mention briefly. Many of you have done therapeutic breathing. It's wonderful. One way to do it is to pretend you're making a snow angel, so that as you inhale, just raise your arms, and as you exhale, just lower your arms in rhythm with your body. But breathing is a wonderful way to turn your adrenaline off when you're feeling activated or stirred up, or whatever word we want to give it. Okay. Again, your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but sometimes breathing can help us calm it down. Emotions, we touched on those. The thing about emotions is to share them. The thought is to identify, what are you feeling? Remember, I said they're faster than the thinking part of the brain. And so sometimes somebody will say, what's wrong? We may say, I don't know. That's legit. But give us a few minutes or even a couple of hours, and we'll figure out what the emotions were or are that are present, and then share them with a safe person. If you have a safe person in your life, wonderful. A safe person is someone who's not going to condemn you for having emotions, but rather they're going to be able to just empathically say, yep, I understand, I've been there, and it's okay, that kind of thing. So maybe you don't have a go-to person, maybe you're new to the area, consider journaling. But the concept is to externalize, in other words, get out of you in some form or another the emotions you're feeling through words or writing or something like that, okay? But have a plan for expressing your emotions this Christmas. Third thing is social time. Now, of course, we need to distance, and we need to take the care that the mayor was talking about. For sure, we want to do that. And at the same time, though, there will be opportunities to gather with a few family members, maybe 1 or 2 close friends where you guys know you can gather in a safe way. But do that in an intentional way with people who are energizing to you and you're helpful to them as well. It's got a word here on social media. That's not what we're talking about, really. There's a wonderful little book there. I don't know if you can see it, but it says How to Be Human in a Digital World. It's a good little booklet if you can pick up a copy somewhere. But basically the idea of take this time to connect with people, people that you love and people who love you. And then lastly, certainly a connection with God, spiritually, a spiritual connection. If there's ever been a time in our lives, 2020 has highlighted for us, this is a time to be anchored in something bigger than ourselves. And so I hope for each of you, wherever you are in that journey, that you can let this season be a meaningful time for you. And think about perhaps, what do you need to hand off? Maybe there's something you're carrying that maybe you don't need to be carrying, and it'll be better carried by the Lord in some way, and just something that you can put down. Okay, so think about those things. I'll offer that to you, take it with you, and maybe use that to hopefully make a plan that works for you and those you love. And Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you have a great holiday season, and hopefully get a chance to see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Pike. And I think really it's people need to recognize their emotions maybe a little more this year than we have in the past. And so I think it's a great thing to maybe let the honesty of our emotions come to the forefront and be vocal with friends and family. It's not going to be the big meal. It's not going to be the things that all the presents. I was at the post office earlier today, and the line was almost out the door. Fortunately, I was just going to my P.O. box, but a lot of people trying to ship things, but be in yourself and know that a friend used to say, all you can do is all you can do, and that's all you can do, and that's okay. That's okay this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks so much, Pike. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. My pleasure to be with you.
So our theme today has been I'll Be Home for Christmas. And so we've got with us Jamie Melton from the Franklin Fire Department. And Jamie, a lot of us are home for sure, right? So we want to talk a little bit about fire safety and things like that. But as the mayor pointed out, the fire department and the Franklin firefighters brought Santa to a lot of people this year that wouldn't have gotten to see him. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. They have been visiting all the Franklin neighborhoods that requested it. So more than 50 Franklin neighborhoods on the 4 Saturdays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this past Saturday, we had our 3rd Santa neighborhood parade, and that included downtown Franklin, and that was fun. And then next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, will be our final parade. That will include Fieldstone Farms and a few other neighborhoods up to the north. So we're excited we've been able to do that. We've had a great response from the community also.
And Franklin Fire Department is really part of the community. I mean, the department is celebrating a big anniversary this year too,
We
right?
are. Yes, this is our bicentennial year. We were supposed to have a big 200th anniversary celebration on Public Square, and that didn't take place like many other things, but that's okay. It's still been an eventful year, to say the least.
The fire station, several of the fire stations serve as drop-off points for toys right now as well. I think today's one of the last days to drop off toys to the firefighter charities.
Thank you for mentioning that. Today is the last day for donated items. New unwrapped gifts can be dropped off at any of our fire stations, but we also have an online giving option as well. So we encourage people to check that out. If you didn't have time to pick up a gift request tag or get a gift, there's an online giving option as well. You can learn more at our website, franklintn.gov/fire.
Great. Now I see Frankie the elf behind you there. He's trying to help us learn things but still have a good holiday season. So people are home and people are doing things they don't normally do, maybe having a fire in the fireplace. Mine's behind me here. I would never have a fire in the fireplace. I'm just too afraid. But there are ways to be safe when it comes to using your chimney and your fireplace, right?
That's exactly right. We, of course, this time of year, you have an increased risk of all kinds of fires because we've got home heating, we've got more cooking going on, we've got decorations. People might overload their electrical outlets, they might use candles or place decorations too close to heat sources. So it's especially important during the holiday to be vigilant to prevent fires. And then also with your fireplace, it's very important to have that inspected and cleaned annually. And we had a recent example I'd like to share real quickly. The firefighters were dispatched to a residential fire alarm in the Monticello subdivision. And actually, they were dispatched by the homeowner's alarm monitoring company, and the homeowner attempted to cancel the fire department, believing they knew, believing they had everything under control. Well, our policy is when we receive cancellations like that, we'll continue, one unit will continue non-emergency just to verify the cancellation in person and make sure everything's okay. So the firefighters arrived on scene and they did find, like the homeowner thought, that the flue was closed and that was causing some smoke in the residence. But they also found that their chimney was on fire. So it immediately upgraded to a working structure fire and were able to put out the fire before it caused a lot of damage. We had another similar situation just a few days later. So very, very important to have your chimney inspected and cleaned annually by a qualified company. But also, I use this example to illustrate also, don't ever be afraid to call the fire department whenever you have smoke in your residence, even if you think you have things under control or understand what's happening, please let us come and check it out. We have thermal imaging cameras. We can make sure there's no fire hiding behind walls, as was the case in this circumstance. So,
and Jamie, I have had that experience. We had a surge in electricity, several that happened here at my home, and fortunately my surge protector worked, but it caught fire. There was flame, and I could have said, oh, well, it worked, but we did have the fire department come, and they were so thorough, and you were able to rest easier knowing that they had inspected my unit and others to make sure that that there was no actual fire in the walls or anything like that.
That's exactly right. So yeah, don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed. That's what we're there for. So please give us a call. Please have working smoke alarms also. I've got my smoke alarm, very, very important to give you that early warning, especially if you're asleep.
And you all will, if somebody has a concern and really just call, you can call the non-emergency number if it's not an emergency, or stop by your neighborhood fire station and see if somebody can assist you, right?
Yes, please give us a call if you have any questions. If you're not sure, your smoke alarms are going off and you're not sure and you can't resolve it on your own, don't hesitate to call us. We do have a non-emergency number on our website as well. You can call dispatch and they'll dispatch somebody over to help.
Great. Now, so one of your former firefighters now owns a chimney company, and we've got a video to show people just a little bit about fire safety and chimney safety. So Carly will play that for us now. Great.
Hey, I'm Jamie Melton with the Franklin Fire Department, and I am here with Tommy Nelms. Tommy is a former firefighter, and he now works full-time in the chimney sweep industry, and he is also vice president of the Chimney
Safety Institute of America. Your chimney or fireplace needs to be inspected annually. That's the most important thing. On top of that, so that would be 1, and then 1A would be to make sure that it's being inspected by a Chimney Safety Institute of America certified chimney sweep. These men and women have gone through rigorous training, had to pass several tests in order to achieve that credential, and it gives them the ability to identify problems, because every fireplace is going to be different in some way. Anytime you're going to light a fire inside your house, you want to make sure that the fire stays where it's supposed to. So if that's a gas fireplace, if that's a wood-burning fireplace, all of those need to be inspected on an annual basis. When the sweep shows up, it's going to be no mess. They're going to put drop cloths down. You're going to make sure that you have a very good vacuum. It needs to be a HEPA vacuum to capture all of the creosote and the ash. Next thing that they're going to do is they're going to visually inspect the firebox. They'll remove, in this particular instance, we're going to pull these logs out. We're going to pull the grate out, vacuum up all of the ash. For the homeowner, you want to make sure that those ashes are cool. So if you have a chimney inspection scheduled, do not use your fireplace 24 hours prior to their arrival. Next thing that the men and women are going to do is they will then shine a flashlight up or into up the flue and see if it's dirty. If there's creosote that's greater than 1/8 of an inch, which basically means if there's creosote present, it needs to be swept, because creosote is a flammable substance that you don't want in your flue. People need to remember that a clean flue won't burn. And so then they'll take brushes. There's several different methods of doing that. They will clean that flue out. And the most important thing is that once that process is done, they'll run a camera up the flue liner. Camera is vitally important because looking at it from the bottom or looking at it from the top, you can't see any hidden defects. Running a camera up the flue liner is going to give the technician the ability to do that. And then they can give that information with taking pictures and summaries and things like that and present that to them. So DIY projects are good. This is not a project for DIY. I would recommend always going to the CSIA website, finding a certified chimney sweep and let them do it. Because like I said before, every fireplace is going to be different in some way. These men and women are trained to know the differences there. They're going to know when something is out of sorts. They're going to know if the combustibles are too close to the opening of the fireplace. They're going to know those sorts of things that a homeowner is not going to have all of that educational background to be able to make those decisions and identify those problems. So there are some things that a homeowner should do. This is not one of those things.
That was really informative. And now it's going to be Christmas and lots of wrapping paper and things, and people think, I'll just burn it and throw it in the fireplace. Don't do that, right?
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Recycle it or put it in your trash can, but please don't burn it. Please don't burn it.
That's right.
It creates a different problem that you don't want on Christmas morning, for sure.
That's exactly right.
Well,
and when you discard your ashes too, very important to wait until they're cooled and to keep them away from the house, because we've seen circumstances where they've caught fire, where they've been discarded outside in a trash can or some kind of a container next to the house. So that's also something important to keep in mind.
Well, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas. And people can go to, as you said, the city website, franklintn.gov/fire, and find out information or have you speak to their HOA, different things like that, right? There's lots of
Yes, that's exactly right. Thank you so much, Mindy.
Have a great day. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Hi, Lauren Ward. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Lauren is with Visit Franklin. And now normally you're working with people visiting us from other places, but you also have a lot of great opportunities for those of us who are home and looking for activities that are safe and a great way to celebrate the season, right?
Absolutely. I would love to share some of that with you this morning. 2020 has taken a lot from us, but it has not taken the Christmas season. Dang it, we are still having a wonderful Christmas season here in Franklin. And we've been named to many top Christmas lists, best Christmas towns over the years, and this year is no different. So I'd love to walk you all through, I believe Carly's going to share our 2020 winter guide, and I would love to just point out some different activities that would be fun for everyone viewing to do over the next several weeks leading up to the end of the year. This guide, and we will put a link in the chat box to this as well, but we have a digital guide online that talks through some different kind of activities that you might have not thought of in Franklin during this time. We talk about Christmas attractions. There's a shopping guide, Southern comfort food ideas, some historic home tours. But I wanted to point out a few that you might pay attention to as you're looking through the guide. Owl's Hill Nature Sanctuary is offering marshmallow hikes. And that is a really fun thing to do on the weekends. They have hot chocolate, and then you can roast s'mores at the end of these hikes. They're easy hikes, so anyone can do those. They have ornament painting at Third Coast Clay, which is a fun activity to do with children or just with friends. Leaper's Fork is also a wonderful place to check out during the Christmas season. They have these really big cozy fire pits outside, so you can go down there, check out Leaper's Fork Distillery if you need a holiday cocktail, and then you can walk around and check out the art galleries and take a look at those fire pits, warm up by the fire pits as well. If you have not seen the factory at Christmas time, you're missing out. You should definitely check out the factory. They have their Christmas trees on display, and it's just a beautiful spot to be around Christmas time. And then the final thing I want to point out in the guide is the Franktown Festival of Lights. I know many of us have been there before. I actually went last night with my family, and it's beautiful light display set to music, and the proceeds go to a wonderful organization as well. So I would encourage everybody to check that out before they close in a couple of weeks. So
that's at the Ag Expo Park, right? Down off Goose Creek Bypass exit on I-65.
Yes, exactly. And this is a personal recommendation, but I highly recommend the car picnic for that. So last night we brought some hot chocolate in a mug and had a few snacks in the car. So, you're driving 5 miles an hour, you can eat your snacks while you're looking at the lights. And that's a very safe, COVID-friendly activity to do because you're in your car. It's very safe the whole time.
Great.
And then I'd also love to mention our digital passports. We have some new digital passports, and Carly's sharing this page on the screen. We can put a link to there as well. But we have a new Masters and Makers holiday cocktail trail that we just released a couple of weeks ago. And for those of you that don't know, the Masters and Makers Trail, it is a trail that connects our distilleries, our breweries, and our local winery in Williamson County together. And they have all come together to make some special holiday cocktails during this time. So you can check this out on the website, get the digital passport, and get all the information there. And that's a really fun activity to do with some friends or family members. And then we also have it right here. You'll see the Historic Homes of Hinchyville Trail. You can see holiday lights in Hinchyville. It's a beautiful time to take a look in that area. And you can download the digital passport. All of this is free, and do that walking trail. So it's a great outdoor activity to do right now as well. We're going to have, you'll see the Haunts and Headstones Trail here as well. That was more of a Halloween trail, but you're welcome to do that at any time as well. We're going to have some more passports coming out in the spring, so to be on the lookout for those. We're going to have a Sweet Treats Trail and then a coffee trail coming out soon as well.
So it's a great time still just to stroll through downtown Franklin. It's beautiful. Wear a mask and be safe. But the downtown merchants have decorated their windows, and
yes,
a lot of special things going on down there as well.
Yes, we've partnered with the Downtown Franklin Association and the City of Franklin for what we're calling Holiday Magic on Main this year. So in lieu of Dickens of a Christmas having to be canceled because of COVID, all of the merchants downtown have really stepped up with their window displays. It's beautiful. There's a contest where you can vote on the windows. So I would encourage you to go down there and take a look. And then they're also running the Hop and Shop trolley from the factory to downtown Franklin every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's free as well. So you can hop on there. And then they're working on getting some additional holiday music up and down Main Street. But it's beautiful. If you have not been to downtown Franklin this time of year, it's a beautiful place to be. And I would love to encourage everyone viewing right now to please continue to support our local businesses. It's been a really tough year for our hotels, our restaurants, our retail shops, our attractions. So if you can purchase gift cards to their, do takeout or to go, that would be a wonderful way to support them this year. And the City of Franklin has graciously opened some dedicated parking spaces downtown for curbside pickup. So it makes it easy to get in and out of downtown if you're picking up something from a local business. But I'd love to encourage everyone to support those businesses this year because they are definitely in need of that.
And we're hearing that nationally shipping is a problem. If you're ordering something online, you may not get it in time for Christmas, but if you go into your local shop and patronize those local merchants, then you are going to have it in hand, and you can call them and ask if they have something. I'm sure they're working with people as well as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so, absolutely.
And you can do a little window shopping at times when stores are closed and maybe the streets aren't as crowded, because we still do have people visiting us from around the country, right?
We do. Yes, we sure do. Our focus throughout the pandemic from a tourism perspective has been to support our tourism partners by advertising to visitors, but also to locals. So asking residents to take a staycation and support these businesses. But we have assembled and continue to follow a phased advertising plan over the past 7 months or so, according to our community spread and then the community spread in those communities that we're advertising to. But we are still, advertising Franklin as a destination for visitors, and we still have visitors coming into town, thankfully. We're pushing forward with that advertising campaign through the winter as people start to plan their spring travel, but everything that we're doing has a safety component to it. So all of our advertising people are wearing masks. We're asking, businesses to participate with sanitation and social distancing, because people are more likely to travel to a destination that they feel is taking all the right precautions and being safe. But I will say we're very hopeful for 2021 as far as tourism is concerned. We've heard some encouraging statistics from Tourism Economics, which is a national tourism data company. And it looks like in Q2 of 2021, we'll see the return of leisure, essential meetings, small and medium events that will hopefully take us to 80% of demand return by the end of 2021. So the tourism industry has taken a really tough hit this year, as all businesses have, but there's hope on the horizon. I know that everybody's ready to travel, and once they feel safe to do so, we're going to see the return of visitors quickly, I believe.
Great. Thanks so much, Lauren. Thanks for bringing visitors to our town, but also thanks for helping find ways for locals to enjoy our great community. Thanks and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
So she mentioned the distilleries, the Makers Trail, but we've got with us this morning a good friend of ours, Zach Helton, who is a brand ambassador for Jack Daniels. And Zach, tell us, what is a brand ambassador? And then you're going to share a Christmas cocktail with us, right?
Yes, ma'am. I sure am. Thank you for having me on, Miss Mindy. I appreciate it. So I'm one of 5 brand ambassadors for Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, and I'm their first located inside the state of Tennessee. So I like to jokingly say it took them 154 years to find me, but they did. So I can't complain about that. Today I want to make a real simple cocktail, how to maybe use some Jack Daniels Old No. 7, this Tennessee whiskey that everybody has around their house this time of year, with maybe something light and refreshing like an apple cider. So this drink can be served either cold or warm at your house, and it's very, very simple. So today I want to try to show everybody, if I can, how to make one nice and cold. So what you'll need for this is, of course, Old No. 7, some good Tennessee whiskey, a little bit of apple cider. You can get this fresh and organic from a lot of local stores. I believe I picked this one up from Miss Betty's right over here in near downtown Franklin, where I live. Some fresh squeezed lemon juice and some ice. You're pretty much good to go after that. We're doing a couple things a little special today. I'm throwing a little bit of Jack Daniels cocktail bitters into this too. So that helps find all that allspice, the cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg that's traditionally found in cider. These are all found at local liquor stores. Yeah, these actually just came out to the market. And Tennessee being a home place for Jack Daniels, we get everything first. So lucky us. So you can still pick this up and right next to your Old No. 7 at the same time. So let's get started. First, if you don't have a fancy cocktail shaker set like I do, don't worry about it. A mason jar and a lid will work just fine for everybody. So what we're going to do here is a really easy ingredients of 3 ounces of our cider, 1.5 ounces of Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey, a few dashes of Jack Daniels Tennessee cocktail bitters, and then also about 1/2 ounce to 1/4 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So we're putting that lemon juice in to help cut the sweetness of the cider. So everybody's cider is going to be a little bit different. Some people have a sweet tooth, some people don't. I think instead of trying to water it down, maybe with a little bit more water, fresh squeezed lemon juice adds a little bit more of kind of that citric acid and just that little bit of touch that you need to kind of brighten up the cocktail. So let's get started. This is a beautiful sound as well. Diane could have used that in her video for Southern sounds. Sound of Jack Daniels whiskey being poured straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
So 1.5 ounces right from there. Then we're going to do 3 ounces of cider. Now you can do this cocktail at a much larger portion too. So if you're wanting to batch up, maybe say like a whole pot of this for your family that's over for the holidays, feel free. Try to use more like a 3-to-1 ratio. So about 3 ounces of the cider to maybe 1 ounce of your whiskey when you're batching this out a little bit larger. So that way you can just make one and be done with it. So we've got this so far. Next, we're going to add a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon juice that I did before we came on. And the final touch is the Jack Daniels Tennessee cocktail bitters. So this has all those bacon spices that you know with cider, apple pie, and also Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey. And we get that usually from our barrels that we raise ourselves at some of our cooperages. So you'll take your shaker or your mason jar. Here's another good sound we can add next year, Diane, to that video. Nice and simple. You got everything shaken up. That way it's interjecting the lemon juice with the apple, the cider, the bitters, all the whiskey. You're going to strain that into a coffee mug or any sort of cup that you might have. Nice and full. And then finally, you garnish with a little grated cinnamon or just some cinnamon sticks right inside your glass. And you're good to go. Might call this one the apple of my pie.
That's a pretty drink.
Well, thanks, Miss Mindy. Appreciate that.
Thanks so much. We love Jack Daniels. It's one of our gifts for our Mayor's Cup golf tournament, which is in October of 2021. And we appreciate Jack Daniels, and we appreciate you, Zach, for sharing some holiday cheer with us.
Well, thank you very much. Hopefully this is pretty helpful in terms of social distancing, maybe to get your spouse out of the kitchen away from you when you're actually trying to cook. Make them up a little cider beforehand, send them on their way. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Well, we're going to wrap up now, and we hope that we have brought you some informational, that we've been informational, as well as had a little fun this morning. And we sure think that it's been a great day to have Frank Talks with us today. So we want to remind you that GraceWorks the manger is this week. You can still donate toys or go online to graceworksministries.net, I believe it is, and donate to support the manger program, or drop your toys off at a Franklin Fire Station today, or go online to see how you can support that program. Remember, we'll be home for Christmas this year, but we're home because we're safe. We're not stuck, we're safe. Let's be safe and look forward to 2021. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2021. Thanks so much.